You live here on the Joseph Crudup Show. Hi everybody, I'm Joseph Crudup, and what a day. Here we go again. This is all about protests. This is all about outrages in Louisville, right? This is Thursday, 20, and this whole stuff. And here we go again. Protests took the streets in Louisville yesterday. Got really crazy. Stuff stuff happens all the time. Last here in my room, great. Anyway, you know what's going to happen, and you know we did. You know if we did, you're gonna get charged for it. Well, what we heard yesterday, the officers were charged on the murder of Bronna Taylor, which was yesterday, and the protesters were outraged. That's not the only thing that we wore that the world was living. It's everybody's guess. And you just can't happen. Okay? This is whole stuff is going too far. This is going too far. 4 months ago it was George Floyd. About a month ago it was Jacob Blake. And now we're on town in the case. I've seen this before and I've seen it again. This whole stuff, here we go again. What's going on? So what has happened? What's happened to Bronna Taylor? What's going on? She was at home. She was at home. And people were supposed to knock. And when they said something about what happened to the black people? What happened to the black people? What happened to the black people who are being killed today? Racial justice. But look, I'm good for you. And we're being reported yesterday that all the officers have been treated. One officer has been treated, another officer had a surgery, and another officer in the state. Yes, it is what it is. First, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't want to go there. I don't want to go there at all. What has happened last night on this CNN, we had just witnessed some stupid stuff going on in the world. The protesters, Black Lives Matter. That's what they say, Black Lives Matter. You can march on the streets, took the streets and marched them, for sure. Bronna Taylor knows, Bronna Taylor's family knows it. Taylor's family knows it because we've seen more and more of this, the whole stuff going on. The whole stuff has happened. And like I said, it is what it is. LeBron James, seeing the street say, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. He was apologized for it. So I'm gonna read this for right about now. And here it goes. It goes into something like this. Now, people, don't be mad at this. Don't be mad at me at this because, okay. And it said on this one, they said the grand jury's decision means no one was criminally charged with killing Taylor and 26-year-old black emergency room technology and spouting those demonstrators began immediately after news spread about Texas charge. An authority for Taylor's family, Ben Clark, says the shots should have been wanton murder. That's what they heard about the news all day. You were watching the news every session because this whole stuff between Bronna and Taylor. It just happens. Right? Right? And then I'll go. Getting angry. Oh boy. This is make people mad. Last night, here, I see it last night. Well, look at. Now look at this. In the shooting by the police. Now here goes. It says the angry demonstrators took to the. Okay, listen to this. The angry demonstrators took to the streets on Wednesday after the Kentucky grand jury did not charge police officers with killing Miss Taylor. Now, a suspect was in custody, accusing of two Louisville officers. Right now, bracing for more protesters, and the Louisville police said they will be out against a smaller force on Thursday night to enforce the city's closing. All the post remains the same, spokesperson said. Louisville, Kentucky had charged Larry Johnson, the age of 26, with 14 counts of wanton and giving the man and 2 counts of assault on a police officer in Malta Department of Commerce. Mr. Johnson was arrested on Wednesday, broken those that interrupting and angry demonstrators Wednesday after a grand jury decided not to bring charges against the police officers who shot and killed Bronna Taylor during a bus tour nighttime raid on her apartment in March. The grand jury instead indicted another officer involved in a raid for witnessing firing shots that entered a neighborhood apartment. The decision in a case that has the country as well. Ms. Taylor's name has become a rallying cry for the Black Lives Matter movement. Many of the officers who were shot during the protesting in Louisville sustained life-threatening injuries. Mother Gray Fresher says at the news conference Thursday morning, he said that one officer, Roger Alberti, Joey Gregory, a commander, had been released from the hospital after treatment for a leg wound. The other officers, Robinson, death soldiers, was recovering from undergoing surgery, the battle said. Mr. Fisher says that while he knew the committee not to vote, we have seen Bronna Taylor's case as both the tragic death of a lone woman with a container of a long pattern of the violence that Black women and men face in our community, our country. Black men and women face in our country as they had is, what do we do with this pain? He added, when any of us gets into the temptation to shower anger into violence, we slow our progress. So now, not to charge 3 of the officers, not to charge the officers of witness. You know about this whole stuff going on. And this is something that Brian Jones had knows about it. Now, listen to this. Listen to this in Colorado and upstate New York on Wednesday night as demonstrators erupted across the country over a Kentucky grand jury's decision not to charge 3 people officers in the devil Bronna Taylor. The chants for justice were quickly overcome by screams of horror as drivers in Denver and Buffalo pouring into protesters who spilled into the streets in the hours following the announcement of the grand jury's decision in the Louisville police shooting of 26-year-old Taylor in California multi-female naturally killed in her own apartment. The incident in Buffalo unfolded about 8:45 p.m. as protesters squared in a downtown area, police said. Graphic video taken by ABC affecting the station WKBW-TV in Buffalo showed a boy in white cane cap pickup truck driving indirectly into a group of demonstrators who pounded on the side of the truck and yelled for the driver to stop just before a protester on a bicycle was hit. The footage shows the truck speeding away as protesters on foot chasing after it. Buffalo police officials said the driver was eventually stopped by officers and detained for questioning. The name of the driver was not released and it remained unclear Thursday if any charge would be filed in the incident. Calls to the police department spokesman by ABC News would not immediately return. Here's look what happened. That's the pickup truck. Somebody did have a bicycle. That's the pickup truck that had a bicycle. Scary. Now, Ashley Warren on Twitter tweeted that the warning grappling video of WKBW photographed of her captured the truck rode through a crowd of protesters and struck a person outside Buffalo City Hall. Important to note, police say Wednesday night that the protester was struck by a truck suffering non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to Allen County Medical Center for treatment. Not a civil extension. Told WKBW that the woman who was hit by a truck is a member of the board of directors. The spokesperson said the woman suffered a broken bone and was in stable condition Thursday morning. So that's what happens when people just don't learn how to drive, and then sometimes you hurt somebody, you hit somebody, and you drive up. That's what happens. Now on ESPN, it says this: WNBA MVP Angela Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces had an emotional reaction when asking about the grand jury decision Wednesday not to charge any other Louisville police officers in Bronna Taylor's death. One officer, Brett Henderson, was charged with watching in the game limit for shooting into neighboring apartments in the Marks where that killed Taylor, calling and slapped on the wrist. Wilson vowed to continue to battle for social justice while also playing at the highest level. I can't even express it enough how tough it is, and how just disgusting that I am. Wilson said in the middle of June called Thursday before the eighth semifinals matchup against Connecticut at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. But this has not stopped the fight. This will never stop because black women deserve so much better than what is going on right now. It just lights the fire in my ass to continue to do what I need to get done and to push through this. And then works from outside the bubble once these major actresses like WNBA is bubbling and branded and Florida, and the players have worn Bronna Taylor's name on the backs of their journeys all season. Wilson admitted it can be hard to also focus on basketball, but said it's her job, her eights, are the number one seed and our top 1-1 for Connecticut and Dallas Stars. I'm looking to the fact of my communities, the things that are going on around me in the bliss sports, she said. I'm dealing in some cases, but at the same time, I just have to be a professional athlete and do what I need to get done for my team. But also, for the people that look up to me, also the little black girls that watch me on TV always. Emotionally, I am heartbroken. I'm angry. But then at the same time, I saw it coming. There's no surprise. There's a minute of surprise. It's out of my mind at this point. I'm disgusted. And I hate that Bronna Taylor didn't get justice. Wilson took to a question from 9-year-old journalist Pepper Brancy, who writes and does podcasts for the next website. Branson and Louisville confused, sad and angry. The paper began up. Wilson said, "My message is to keep fighting. We can't stop fighting. It gets harder as you get older. I hate that you ever have to think about going and do it. I'm going to make sure that you don't have to live through this as hard as we live through it right now. When you get older, I hope that there's a chance that you don't have to continue to write about it. Dream big and don't let anyone tell you that that you cannot do something, that you are acceptable or qualified just because of the color of your skin." And it says like that, so the man said, "Well, we tried it, and this is what happens. No, we cannot let up. We're going to continue to say Bronna Taylor's name, Sandra Blaine name, and countless others that didn't go viral. That's not on a TV show. I'm going to lose my platform anyway, shape or form to save these black women's names. It's time for us to use our voice, to let our voices be heard for the movement that our voices death, right? We know she's been shot home at the apartment. But 3 months later, it was George Floyd. Then 3 months later, it was Jacob Blake getting shot by the police in the back 7 times. George Floyd was killed after that also had a knee on his neck. Don't even matter to me, folks. Don't even matter for me where you can live. Whatever happens, whatever happens to black people. When they say Black Lives Matter, they say Black Lives Matter. They mean Black Lives Matter. And we have to watch out for them. We have to Black Lives Matter. And they have to do something. We see people marching on the streets all day and all night. Black people die because people say those are bad cars. Yeah. I saw it back in the day. I seen a lot. We just have to live with it. Social injustice. So anyway, what I'm seeing was yes, and yes, that's what happens. And the false business of the thing, so it says Twitter Black Lives after Bronna Taylor tweets deleted, caused to Born Louisville go unchecked. And yes, others expressed anger, frustration, and sadness on the social media platform Wednesday. In Jefferson County, Kentucky, grand jury decides to indict one of the 3 officers involved in the drug operation that led to Taylor's shooting with a $15,000 bail. Some users know that posts about Taylor were being removed for account Twitter about her and the court decision for being locked or suspended. And yes, for sure. Whatever goes to continue, but what goes around comes around, folks, and that's how this whole, because what has happened, the Louisville police didn't know what to do. They didn't know, and everybody didn't know what to do about it. Ben Crump, the civil rights thing, it's just disgrace to do something like that. And last night you got 3 officers being shot. So what has happened? What happened tonight? Just like Minneapolis, Minnesota, all over again. It has the whole demonstrators written all over it. And people all alive is what is going on. First, I tell you what, they we've seen. What it's all about is self-expression. They aim WAC for sure, that's it is, and it's sad. very sad to see another Black Africa being killed for some reason. For some reason, there's what we live in. It's like, what the hell? What the? And then they're gonna think, and you're just doing the thing, everything that's going on, and all the this and that, this and that, and this and that. It's just balance the thing. Stuff's gonna be look like, all this stuff's gonna be look like the Democrats and the Republicans right now, like it all melts. These people are gonna be telling people, and they're gonna be telling people, but the lying and crying out, why? And they're gonna be talking like, man, what the hell's going on? That's all I gotta say for now. Look, like me on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, peace out, everybody.